Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode on the podcast. Um, in today's episode, I'm joined with Kai and Nocte. And if I say that right, I'm sorry. Well, if I say it wrong, I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. But today it's a bit like last week in a way, where we're going to continue talking about Doctor Who, which is awesome because only next month is Doctor Who, which is it's weird for us sitting here because it's not April or May yet. It's February. But yeah, that is what like time does. Like it's all in the wrong order, I think. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about Doctor Who. I'm gonna get you guys to introduce yourselves, say a little bit about yourself. Yeah, basically introduce yourself. So Kai, start with you.
Hello, I'm Kai. I make music. Recently, started making music last year. Grown up watching Doctor Who. My dad recently has got some published stuff that's in the Doctor Who Weekly magazine. Um, and pretty much just grown up watching it. I've met a few of the actors from some of the episodes, smaller actors and actresses, and that went to 50th anniversary convention. That was pretty cool when I was younger. But
That was
yeah.
good. Like it was good. It was really good that time, wasn't it, Doctor Who?
Yeah, it was very like strong Doctor Who. Everyone like there was a big fan base around it then.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's gone up and down, I think, since.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is true.
yeah. Um, yeah.
Right, so I'm Nocte. I'm also a rapper. I started properly releasing music also a year ago. Been writing for a few years. On the Doctor Who side of things, I'm not as educated as the two people I'm with today, but I have a basic understanding, especially of the newer seasons, and I take like a lot from don't really know how to explain. I take a lot from um like little meanings behind it. Like I think like even their clothing or color choice can mean like a lot more. So I have like a couple of interesting takes I take away from different episodes.
Yeah. And that is really good because like different clothes they wear is very important. Um, I say that I wear lots of them. Um, but yeah, it's great. That it's good because normally when I have people on talk about Doctor Who, they know everything. And today we've got what maybe one person knows a bit more than the other. So it's going to be interesting when we put certain questions to the spot a bit later on. But don't worry, it's all good fun.
All
Um,
fun and games.
um, but I guess so. With Doctor Who, so because you both like music, do you feel music in Doctor Who is really important to have that in the show?
Oh, 100%. It can set a whole atmosphere. It can set a scene, portray how someone's feeling, with like an emotional dialogue with music in the background. Um, think about some of the times when, like the last time, the Doctor and Rose met in the when he was the hologram between the parallel universes. Like the music there was brilliant in Bad Wolf Bay.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like music is not only important to like set the scene, but it can play on a lot. It can bring out a lot of emotion, and not only bring out a lot of emotion in things like sad scenes. I feel like it's really good for setting up certain characters. For example, the scene in the one of the newest episodes with the toy maker when he's singing in like the
The Spice Girls.
yeah, where he's singing,
Sometimes.
it's like he's made a joke, like because he's powerful and like toys. I feel like toys and that are often associated with kids. He's made it like it was fun for him, and I feel like that was really impactful for someone of his character to like basically be introduced to the rest of the people like that.
Yeah, considering he was a character from the first Doctor
Yeah,
storyline.
yeah, he was. Yeah. Um, I didn't think I'd like him as much as I did actually. The toy maker.
Neil Patrick Harris is one of my. I will say he's one of my favorite actors. Um, he's worked with Russell T Davies before in a recent project. That was the reason why he got asked to do this new role, well, the toy maker role. But they said even Russell T Davies goes, if Doctor Who was made in America originally, he probably would have been the Doctor at one point
Yeah,
because he's got such a big, wide range of like character. Like,
Very charismatic person as well, isn't he?
well, he played a straight guy in because he is gay in real life.
Yeah.
He played a straight guy in How I Met Your Mother, and like he's just a very good actor, just like doing lots of like mediums and stuff like that. Great singer as well, does like Broadway and like done like shows as well. I just
yeah.
think he's a really good actor, and I really enjoyed having him on the show, really, even if it was one villain.
I do hope in a future series that he comes back because I think although he's just if he was there for the 60th, but uh, I want him there because like they kind of fingered the plot line with him, didn't they, in the 60th where you had him
Yeah,
saying my people are coming. He said
yeah.
at the end, and he's kind of started that cycle. So maybe someone will get him out of that box eventually.
I'd like to see him work with the Master, maybe like whoever the Master is now. I don't know if they're going to bring back. I can't remember the actor's name.
Sasha Dewan.
Yes, I really enjoyed him, like as the Master. I
Yeah,
liked, but I feel like it took away from Missy. It kind of
yeah.
like it was a bit messy writing as well, but he was a good actor.
He was a very good actor. It was very confusing in a way because with the Missy storyline, you kind of feel like maybe the Master died. Well, with Missy. So I liked him, but it was a bit more like John Sims' Master, like going back to that kind of era.
It just it felt like I like the idea of Missy being like or like the Master being good for a while.
Yeah,
Like
no, what annoys me with that though, so you say that, but I feel like they had a whole redemption arc for a character and then just scrapped it randomly.
but they
And
they did explain it in the audiobooks, but um it's if you don't obviously listen to the audiobooks
you ain't got a
or
clue.
yeah, you haven't got a clue. Like I found out like I watched a YouTube video based around all the audiobooks just because I was interested one night.
Yeah, it's like you remember Brian, Rory's dad. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did this kind of comic strip for him because, of course, like he wouldn't have known that Amy and Rory like got taken by the Weeping Angels and everything. So they did this kind of small little video in a comic way where you had their their um their child, Amy and Rory's child. They had another child, and obviously for time because the child is older than Brian.
Oh, wow,
So
yeah, yeah.
and the Brian's thinking, "Who are you? Like you're old enough to be his granddad, like even Brian's granddad or something."
Hmm.
So he came to the door in it, and he explained who he was and everything, and a letter was left to Brian. So stuff like that is good, but like you say, you're not going to know unless it's actually in the series itself.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just adjusting the mic.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think all the comic books and stuff like that, and are interesting. Like they adapted the '80s comic for the Meep, the episode of the Meep. I can't remember the actual episode name right now. Was it called?
The Star Beast.
The Star Beast, yes, based on the Tom Baker comic book from the '80s. My dad, when the episode was coming out, my dad was telling me about like he had this comic book as a kid, and like it was pretty cool seeing it. Like he was kind of excited. Obviously, he knew like bits about it, but he didn't tell like me or like my brothers and like sister who watched it as well. Like he didn't tell us like obviously he knew that like Meep's probably not going to be like the good guy in the story. But so it was pretty cool seeing it. Like I kind of guessed it beforehand, but it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, I did like it. I actually got the comic strip cut like probably last year.
Oh, okay.
Because well, I collected Doctor Who like things, and you get like a magazine each month, and it came in uh, one of them, and yeah, I actually read it because I never saw it before.
Oh wow. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, probably my favourite part of the Star Beast is actually Beep the Meep in it because I do like Beep the Meep.
really well animated as well. And also like physical effects as well. Like just even how like it wasn't on the uncanny valley, sorry, where it didn't look too realistic or it didn't look too fake either. Like it was a good balance. And then like you had like when the can't remember the aliens' names. The
Rough Warriors.
Yes. Well, when they were flying up in the building, like you can see it's still old Doctor Who, like how the CGI is, and I love it because Doctor Who's always been the small show with big dreams, but it's just never really had the budget to do that stuff.
No, and we can see that with the new TARDIS.
Oh, the new TARDIS looks. I do like it. Where's the seats? Where's the seats? That looks like a really uncomfortable standing, like
Yeah.
for a
No, I
while.
don't think I've ever seen someone sit down while flying.
You have scenes where like the Doctor and I don't know, I think it's Martha where they're crashing and then they land in the seats, sit back in the seats as like the TARDIS like kind of goes to one side.
Yeah, I suppose, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think there's probably seats somewhere because there's so many rooms, isn't
Yeah,
there?
I hope they explore more rooms. Like even if it's like them walking out of like a massive like wardrobe or something like that where like there's like loads of like clothes and it's all like themed like 60s, 80s attire or like stuff like that. That'd be cool.
There needs to be an episode in the TARDIS, I think.
Yeah, a whole episode set in
Yeah, whole
TARDIS.
episode. Yeah.
That would
Uh,
be awesome. The
yeah.
journey to the center of the TARDIS was a great episode for that. Like that was just interesting.
Yeah, I like that one. It was good.
Smith and Clara, is it?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. It
yeah,
was that, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think the TARDIS is so good because how big it is. Like one of my favorite scenes actually, the 60th, was from, when that they actually David Tennant went in the TARDIS.
running around.
Yeah, running
He
around.
wanted to add that in himself, just him running around because the set was just huge and like it is a really nice set. Like
Yeah.
it's huge. It's like two-story building, like size. It's huge.
Just the music in that scene as well, like how magical it
Yeah,
is.
it's just like being a kid, like just like in a toy store or something like that. You just got the whole store to yourself and like he's just looking around new buttons to press and stuff like that.
Awesome. It is the whole set. It's awesome, and I think we all want to go there, don't we?
Yeah, wish it was real. Like
Yeah.
you could just travel.
if it was real, where would you want to go? Where would be the first place you go though?
Mm,
That is a good question. Where would I want to explore?
I don't know.
Future, probably.
Yeah, probably
Seen
the
the past.
future.
Well, not seen the past, but like you've read about the past in books and like history and stuff like that. I know it might not be true, but like you got at least a rough like representation. You don't know.
100 years, 100 years from now,
Yeah,
are the who's still in charge of the country? Just find out.
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it'd be nice to see. Is there flying cars? Are people now AIs? And that far in the future.
Has AI take? Is it a Terminator in the future? Are we gonna come back and we're gonna be like, ah, crap?
Yeah, yeah. Is it gonna be Detroit become human in real life?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think the show is very there was a worry for a little period of time. Like, was it gonna get axed again? I think they
Yeah.
very
Oh.
nearly did, but now I think it's don't worry about that no
Well,
more.
they've got backing and funding from Bad Wolf Studio, which is a part of Sony, I believe, or something like
Yeah,
that, or has links to Sony. So hopefully the budget and obviously they've got Disney helping them out now as well. But then I'm also worried about that because Disney hasn't really had a good track record recently.
The Meep's gonna come back and just end up being a good guy. Like it's gonna be hugged by the Doctor, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have to be bad."
yeah. Uh, I agree, and I think the only thing with Disney is I think that it's hard because I think they just want lots of Doctor Who content all the time,
Yeah,
and they want it to
I
be
feel
all the time. Yeah,
I feel like they're gonna do spin-offs. Obviously, we know that there's gonna be certain spin-offs coming. Apparently, a rumored one is about the Sea Devils,
Yeah, yeah. It's
the
bit,
land, the war
bit
between
weird,
land
isn't
and the
it?
sea.
It's a bit
It,
weird. To hear
apparently, it's gonna
about.
be like a six-part type thing. But if it's like a war between the Silurians and the Sea Devils, and then like the humans in between it, but set in like what medieval times or something like that, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I think it could be an interesting concept if it's done right.
Bring back Torchwood, man.
Oh,
Bring back Torchwood.
Torchwood, brilliant.
I think I think Torchwood won't come back, but I don't know. But I think people from Torchwood may just go over to Unit because there'll probably be a Unit spin-off at some point.
Yeah.
I would
Um,
like to see like Martha, um can't remember her name, Gwen from Torchwood, like in like a with unit and like with some of the other like assistants or something like that, and like maybe have like that's maybe looking for like Jack or something like that. Like that could be like a cool like plot line or something like that. They've been looking for Jack ever since whatever happened to him after he disappeared from Evolution of the Daleks or whatever episode it was. The New Year's episode.
yeah, yeah. Most of the cast are gone from Torchwood, aren't they? The majority of them.
Yeah, Kai Owens. I've met him. I've met Kai Owens actually.
Is he the Is he?
He played Gwen's boyfriend.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He's funny. He is.
Yeah, he was actually really nice in person as well.
Yeah, I love his scenes where he just had massive meltdowns and fits. That's just so little situations.
Do you know the episode where they're in the hotel, like the never-ending hotel? Is it God?
God complex.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
God complex. Do you know the monster that's in the episode?
the Minotaur.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember this episode.
yeah.
That's what I remember.
I've actually met the person who was in the suit of like the Minotaur type creature.
Okay.
Really nice. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy as well. Um,
Imagine he just lied to you. Imagine it wasn't actually like you just saw heard you speaking about it. It's like, yeah, that was me, man.
he was the CGI person for Kilowog in Green Lantern.
Oh, okay.
Like he was the person like behind like because he's such a tall guy. Like he gave me this action figure of him as well. Like when I met him.
Yeah, you have to be tall to go in these costumes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
me gone then.
yeah. That's Dangon.
yeah. And
Like mate.
I think about the
Hey, hello,
meat.
boys.
There's lots of people controlling the meat. Like you have half a dozen on his body, half a dozen on his eyes and legs.
Yeah, they were just complaining about it, but like I said, Doctor Who's never had the biggest budget. It's never going to be like a Marvel project. Well, I mean, even Marvel has like some dodgy CGI now and then.
I do think Marvel's gone downhill. Um, I personally think it should have finished with Endgame.
Yeah, thank
Because
you.
Endgame is called Endgame for a reason. And if you just go bring people back for their own little spin-offs, which they can do, but it's just I never got into them. I've never
Like
really
WandaVision
watched
was
them.
good. I liked WandaVision. That was okay. Like I thought that was only cool because I liked the cinematography of each episode was different. It was stylized, but
Yeah.
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 Did you watch Class A, Dan? And did you watch it, Mason?
I've never watched it.
No, I haven't watched it, no.
So it is a Doctor Who spin-off.
Oh, Class. Oh,
Yeah,
Class.
Class A is it called Class A or is it just
Uh,
called Class?
oh, Class, yeah. I've watched that, yeah. I a person actually asked me not long ago, do you
Oh
think they
no, it's
should
just
bring
called
it
Class.
back? And I kind of feel like it kind of didn't work, really, did it?
It wasn't the greatest, no. It was it was only because it was set in the school where Clara was working, and then that had like something about that area or something like that was like causing um like creatures to come through and like
Oh, okay.
the cliffhanger was like I think it was something like the Division, but it wasn't the Division. Like you saw Weeping Angels there, and like that would have been cool if that was a setup to the Division or something like that. That could have worked. maybe.
Yeah, we didn't really find out who they were really. The
No, it didn't find like it wasn't like Torchwood. It wasn't like Sarah Jane because Sarah Jane was more aimed towards kids, where Torchwood was aimed towards more of the older Doctor Who fans who like maybe a little bit more like darkness to the episodes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Class was just
Yeah.
there.
No, I agree. Torchwood didn't really have many happy endings, did it?
No.
Like, let's be honest, like when you're watching Doctor Who, you have the feeling of like most of the time it's going to be all right, but Torchwood was sort of like you expect it to be all right, but then they're like, oh no, this character's gone.
Well, the thing is, like with like Doctor Who will always like end back in like the same position where it started because it is like such a don't get me wrong, there's things that push the plot forward as well. Like, but that's more like character development as well as like
Hmm.
that. But a lot of the time, Doctor Who will always like start in the TARDIS. You end back in the TARDIS because that story wrapped, unless if it is a two-parter or like there is like something that leads like a cliffhanger into the next episode or something like that. But that's what I've always liked about Doctor Who because it's more of like a I forgot what they call it like how EastEnders is. It's always like I forgot
I
what is
bet
the
he's
word?
never had someone on this podcast compare Doctor Who to
No,
EastEnders.
no.
That is a crazy comparison. Phil Mitchell's going to show up and fight the Daleks.
You know there was a crossover. But I'm pretty sure there was a crossover with Doctor Who and EastEnders.
Well, they may have mentioned Doctor Who because I think a lot of programs do, don't they? They have the odd mention Doctor Who in there, like a TARDIS.
Yeah, like there was even there was a references in like loads of TV shows that I've seen. Yeah, there was a charity special. The Dimensions in Time is a charity special with where Doctor Who and the soap opera EastEnders done a collaboration together.
Did they?
Yes.
Just imagine you're trying to save the Earth and all you hear is "Get out of my pub."
Would you not remember the episode where the ghost
I own this pub.
the ghost the ghost Doomsday the two-part where the last episode
What
with
when
Rose.
they're actually Cybermen? That's that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
What that was?
Yeah, that's
crossover between EastEnders.
no. There is a scene from EastEnders where they're in the pub and they go like, "Get out of my pub!" Like
Oh
you
yeah,
don't,
I
I
think I know.
don't serve you ghost folks here or something like that. Like if you're not
Oh,
gonna pay for the drink and stuff like that. It's stupid, but it was funny. Like,
it was like just a shot of a person saying "Get out of my pub."
but it was like a reference
It's,
like to EastEnders and stuff like that.
That's fun.
yeah, yeah. It is good when they do stuff like that. Like they've had the weakest link on there as well.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
season one of like of like 2006. 2006.
I remember that episode.
That's a cool episode.
Yeah. They had the android saying "You are the weakest link." Um, but yeah. So if you've had different shows in Doctor Who, which is good because it gives you more people to watch it, I guess. If they like the other shows, then watch Doctor Who.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's there's so much sort of different things with it. Like, are you with the new series starting fairly soon? Are you excited for that?
Oh, I am very excited. Shooty Gatwa. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm very excited to see him be the Doctor. It's new, and they've got like there's some of like what I've seen from the trailers and stuff like that. Like I try and like see what episodes, like what clips of like from what episode and stuff like that, because I like spoiling it for myself, but but mostly because I just interested about the storylines and stuff like that. Like I'm a big Beatles fan. Like my dad, like one of my first CDs I ever got brought was the Beatles, like one of the old Beatles collections and stuff like that. So like this episode, like set in Abbey Road and stuff like that, to me is gonna be like awesome. Like I think it's just cool.
I feel like the clothing choices are going to be really big this
Yeah,
season as well. Because
there's quite a few outfit changes.
when he was in it is Sex Education, isn't it? When he was in Sex Education, his outfit choices are always like really they're like quite fashion forward. and
Mhm.
I feel like him as an actor, he's gonna push for these seasons he's doing to be like more creative with their like back when like how it used to be where the outfit choices are a lot more creative rather than where it's always been they've been different, but with like David Tennant and Matt Smith, you see a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
But I feel like this
Yeah.
is gonna really push the bow out on.
You compare that to like Tom Baker, Colin Baker, like he had a celery put on like his lapel on he had like a piece of celery just on his
Yeah.
lapel. Like that stuff's so cool. And
I feel like it does so much for like
look, Peter Davison, I mean, sorry.
just like I mentioned just before we started recording with how it like does a lot for like toxic masculinity as well, where like years and years ago people wouldn't have considered it normal to be able to wear like different things. Like at the end of the day, they're just clothes. And I feel like this season, if he does experiment a lot with the outfits, it could really push that agenda of being like it's okay to wear exactly what you want.
Well, from like the trailer, I've seen like I think it's 4 different outfits throughout like the trailer. Um, and I think that's interesting. I'm hoping it's like obviously you've got like time period pieces,
Yeah.
like the one where it's set in the 60s, I believe it is, or 60s or 70s in that era. And then you've got like the one set in like American Revolution, I believe it is, and that's got Jonathan Groff in, who's quite a big actor. He voiced someone in Frozen. He was the king in Hamilton. He's a very good singer and just performer in general. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a few more musical pieces throughout this season as well, because they both seem like, but I hope they don't overdo it.
Yeah.
I like,
Yeah, I agree. I think Doctor Who had a good little music thing in Christmas time last year for the episode. Um, but yeah, I liked the new kind of thing with the clothes. I like the like I think you have one like with your 60s ones you've mentioned. You have one with in the series too, like in the first like at Christmas, you had him in his leather jacket with his top, and in series two, he's gonna have that leather jacket, but with a yellow version of the top.
Mm.
So he's changing it around, and I think towards the end of the series, this series, he's having more like Ninth Doctor vibes in a way, where he
He's
has
got
his
like striped tops.
yeah, yes, like the black jacket with a white top, very simple and plain. So it
Mm.
goes like from wearing something really fancy to something very plain. So it's really interesting.
I feel like the theming of this season is going to be centered around family, because you've got Ruby, who's obviously gonna try and, I reckon at some point you're gonna find out more about her mum. And then you've also got the doctor who's just found out he was adopted, and like, or like recent in like the episodes with like the master and stuff like that. So it's gonna be, I feel like that's why there's a lot of theory around who's this woman, Mrs. Flood, isn't it? The
Hmm.
Ruby's neighbor.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I mean, do you have any theories of who it could be?
I think it's not. I think it's what everyone feels like it's going to be a villain. I
Everyone feels
don't.
like I've heard a lot of people say Rani,
Yeah, yeah.
Rani,
I,
another
I
Time Lord.
I don't think it's a villain. I mean, the part of me doesn't want it to be a villain. I kind of think it's either the Doctor's family, a family member of the Doctor, or a
Hmm.
family member of Ruby, or Ruby. It could be Ruby in the far
Yeah,
future. Just seeing over maybe the mistakes that were made back then, while
maybe
not.
she can trying to
Yeah,
fix them
That's
for
such a
herself.
clever theory. I would have
yeah,
Or
never thought
I
of
mean,
that.
I would also, I mean, fan obviously just me being like a fan, love to see like Susan.
yeah.
Like, I don't think it is, but I would love to see like a regeneration of Susan or something like that for the Doctor to travel around with again, because that's like a female family as well. So like, imagine if like we do get Susan.
If it was Susan, I would rather actually the actor who is still alive. do it because if she wasn't live, I would say yeah, but you still have that chance to. I thought she might have appeared in the 60th season, considering it's like they for the 60 years, but because she was at like the premiere of the 60th as well, like the up to the play season. But yeah, there's so much out there. It could be people out there saying River regenerated. So
I mean, yeah, but I kind of want to have, if anything, I don't want to see River back like that. I want to see River in a spin-off show. I can't lie, like the River Song Diaries or something like that, like
mm,
where it's like, imagine if we could get like a few episodes of like River Song with like some of the old doctors or something like that. Just like when like, I mean, I know that we could never get Christopher Eccleston back because he's not a fan of the show producers and they had like obviously ended it bad and whatnot because at the time the people who were making Doctor Who didn't believe in the show at the time when he did or something like that is what he said in some of the interviews I've heard. But I imagine some episodes with like him, David Tennant, like Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, like even Jodie, like I'd love to see like an episode or two, like with just each one of the doctors or something like that, just filling out the diary, and it's just like comparing the diary as well.
Yeah.
yeah. The, I think the spin-offs will start. You'd think they would start maybe sometime this year. Um,
Uh,
if not this year, next year. One at a time. I don't think they should release loads. Like Marvel do. They have this one, then you got another one, then you got another one. Like just start one. If it's the spin-off of the Sea Devils, do that, and then move on to another one. Um,
yeah,
and maybe
when it's
connect them, and maybe connect them all. Like what they're doing in The Walking Dead, I guess. Like they're having all these different spin-offs,
Yeah.
and I reckon towards the end they're gonna bring them all together.
oh yeah, like
Um,
a
yeah,
new Walking Dead type show. Like I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead. I've got the whole
yeah,
collection up there and the comic books and the box set.
yeah. Um,
When
I
you said about River returning, on the topic of like returning characters, if the Master did come back, do you want him to be the same actor or do you want a different actor?
I want it the same. I like Sacha Dhawan for some part.
Yeah, I really liked him. I'd like to see him with better writing. Like I'm not a big fan of Chris Chibnall. Like even some of his old episodes, like the only one that I really stands out to me is 42.
And
Uh,
yeah,
And I do believe that is Chris Chibnall. I'm gonna double check that 42. It is Chris Chibnall who wrote that.
my eyes are burning.
I do like that episode. I thought it was a good one-off episode and it was very good contained and stuff like that. So, but then he always I felt like he had an idea but just didn't couldn't portray it well.
I think he's good when someone else is the showrunner. But I did like some of his episodes in his series. I mean, I like the one you mentioned. I like that he did the two-parter of the Silurian with Matt Smith. Um,
Yes.
he read them, and I did really like them. Those episodes. But if we go into the series that you done, the first series I didn't like at all because there's no storyline. But the episodes I did like. I did actually like the Judoon ones.
Oh
Um,
yeah, with the Fugitive Doctor.
yeah, yeah, I like that one. But the only thing is, I think the his series would have been alright. But the only thing about it is the storylines. Like he has too many going on at once, and that was the
Yeah.
problem.
Another episode that I feel like wasn't done as well for Chris Chibnall was The Power of Three.
Oh yeah.
Did he write the one with the little alien that eats everything?
Uh,
You know what I'm on about
yeah.
that, don't you? He just like it's
It,
probably one of the worst episodes I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
uh,
A pating, I think.
the
Yeah, no,
Pating, yes, it
yeah.
is called the
Yeah,
Pating.
pating. Yeah, pating.
Wasn't it called Orphan 55, the episode?
I can't actually know. I mean, Series 11 is wiped from my mind because I think.
I
um,
think you mentioned this before though, Kai. I don't know if you mentioned because it's who you are interested in him playing, or if the actor himself said he'd like to play it. But you mentioned Matt Smith potentially like wanting to come back as
The
the Master.
Master.
And I think that's a really cool idea
Like,
because I think he's shown he can play. I don't know if you watch like Game of Thrones and all that, but in the spin-off show House of the Dragon, he plays I think it's Daemon Targaryen, and he's like really good in that role as like a darker character as well. So I think he genuinely could be really good as like
um,
playing the master.
imagine like shooting at and being like, "You stole my face!" Like, like so people who obviously like recognize him as the Doctor, like it was one of the versions of the Doctor. Like maybe he's doing like trying to reverse some of the things that the Doctor's already done. Like that could be
Yeah.
cool.
That
Like,
that would be cool because I think he'd play it really well. Like I've seen him in other shows. Like I've seen him in House of the Dragons because I did like Game of Thrones. I watched Game of Thrones. Um, we don't have to talk about the ending. Like
yeah, we don't talk about the
no,
ending.
but it's funny because when I watched the Game of Thrones, I binge watched it when the last series was airing. Because my brother told me about it. You should watch it. I was like, okay. I'm nearly done. I'm nearly caught up. I've caught up now for the last episode. Um, but yeah, I did like it. But like the House of Dragons, Matt Smith was great.
Yeah.
I think a new series of House of Dragons. I think it's this year at some point.
Yes,
I
I
hope so.
do believe so.
I'm
Yeah,
really
there
excited
was
for
a
it.
trailer for season 2.
Yeah.
My thing is, I only watched Game of Thrones last year, like fully, and I binge watched it all. Loved it. Ending, yeah,
The ending
yeah.
was awful, I can't lie.
They need to do like a show with like some of the characters, or like even just one of the characters, like Jon Snow, like Kit
Well,
Harrison,
Yeah.
and then just
There's talks of that for
expand it a
ages,
bit
isn't
more.
there?
you
Yeah.
see, I think the thing is like where the book's not been written and they like rushed the ending, they did so many characters dirty. For example, I know we've gone off on a tangent here, but you know, Stannis Baratheon, where Ramsay leads the army and kills him. In the
Mm.
book, Stannis is still alive because like he's put up to be this like military leader, but he went to the north and went, "Oh, it's colder than I thought." Like, do you know what I mean? One of the best
Yeah.
military leaders got beat by cold weather.
I liked Tyrion. I mean,
Tyrion's so
He is a
good.
brilliant actor.
I mean, but I kept thinking to myself, when is he gonna get killed? Like each series, I was thinking to myself, like at the start, where when he was the servant. I mean, I just laughed. I can't remember what his name was now, but you know when the young boy was the king, or he was the king, and then he got poisoned, and everyone thought it was
Oh,
Tyrion.
Joffrey.
oh,
Yeah,
Joffrey,
yeah, him, yeah. It was horrible, wasn't he? To everyone.
yeah.
Um, but it was. I liked it. Um, I liked the storylines in Game of Thrones. It was good.
Mm. We just never talk about the last season.
I know, I know. Like,
It genuinely angers me. It really actually does anger me. Like it's just the last scene where they're discussing who should be king, and a guy who was in prison since like season 2 was like, I think I should be, like no.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Daenerys, the actor who plays her. I'd like to see her in Doctor Who.
Oh,
Uh,
Daenerys, yeah.
That could be cool.
Yeah. To be fair, there's a lot of actors I would love to see from Game of Thrones in Doctor Who. I mean, I know that there are quite a few of them have already been in, or a few of them have been in Doctor Who. I'm trying to think now. I'm actually gonna look it up because I'm interested.
Yeah.
Uh, like I think like some of the actors in like Game of Thrones easily could be in Doctor Who. Give them like I'd love to see a few more like medieval timepieces like as well, like and you could give them like them type of like roles as well.
You could.
It's like I remember the I don't know if you ever watched the old BBC TV show I don't know if it was on BBC or BB I can't remember which one it was on. Um oh my God, why is my mind gone blank? Merlin. The
Oh
actor
yeah,
who played Merlin was in the episode Midnight.
yeah.
Brilliant episode.
I love that episode. That was very good. I did watch Merlin, but I watched it in like lockdown when we had lockdown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it when it aired, and then
That had John Hurt in as well as the voice of the dragon, and then
did.
obviously the War Doctor.
It did. He was great. I mean, I didn't like the ending. Tim Allen. But I think now because their social media pages are starting to release lots of stuff now after like ages. So I don't know. Maybe they could bring that back at some point.
I just saw quite a few actors that I recognise who have been in Doctor Who and Game of Thrones. 25 actors that I've seen.
Sorry, was that Robert Baratheon?
Yeah.
I did not know he was in
He
it.
was in Jodie Whittaker's first season final.
That's probably why I can't remember it.
Yeah.
Person from Human Nature, Bane, is that his name? Like
Yeah, Bane. Yeah.
he was
Bane.
Can't remember the
Oh
character.
my God.
Yeah, Varys
Why does he
Targaryen.
he must only play hated characters. You know, on here he's got that is the guy who's in the with like the scarecrows and that.
Yeah.
So
Human Nature and the Family of Blood.
yeah, so the like son in the Family of Blood. We
Yeah.
just found out he played Viserys Targaryen, like Dany's brother.
Daenerys' his brother.
I think I remember him in there, but
He
yeah.
died quite early on.
Yeah.
He's the one who gets melted gold poured on his head.
And another person who's also in that episode, who's also in Game of Thrones. Do you know the person who finds Bran, like the nature person?
He gets stabbed by a White Walker that comes back to life. Where he helps Bran when they're
little
still
boy.
Hodor and that.
He's the little boy that has the pocket watch, the Doctor's pocket watch.
Oh yeah,
in-
him.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I
That's
know
it.
someone that's been in both. You know the person who plays the Ice Warrior King.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's in it, and he plays
Yes.
a Silence and the I forgot what the other creature is now. He plays the Silence and the monster from the Time Heist episode with Peter Capaldi.
Yeah. Oh, I love that episode. The
Um,
Time Heist episode is
yeah.
really good.
and yeah, he was in the costumes and everything.
I think I've actually met that same person who you're on
Yeah.
about as well in Harlow, because Harlow used to have this comic book shop at the Free Drafts that had like Doctor Who actors come down and stuff like that, and my dad used to work with the people, so that's how I met quite a few of them.
Yeah.
The person, do you know the two-part Weeping Angel episode with Amy and Rory?
Yeah.
The person who plays the sergeant, Father Octavian.
Oh
in
yeah.
the episode. He's
Jorah Mormont.
yeah, Jorah more how do you pronounce it?
Jorah Mormont.
Yeah, in Game of Thrones, Daenerys' bodyguard.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He loves playing bodyguards, doesn't he?
Yeah. So many actors that have been like both actually.
It's like Happy Valley as well. Have you watched Happy Valley?
I have not. Mark Gatiss' performance in Doctor Who as well, and Game of Thrones. They've both been in that. That's pretty good.
I love how we've gone on such a massive tangent here.
I know.
Yeah, there's so many actors, isn't there, from lots of shows that have been in Doctor Who and someone else.
Literally, I didn't realize how many there were,
Yeah,
but
25. Well, you have Maisie Williams, like one of the biggest actresses who were in Doctor Who recently. She was the girl who lived, and Arya Stark.
Yeah, she was quite an important character in Game of Thrones.
Very very big.
Big
I
character.
like her character. My mind just went blank.
Yeah. Yeah, and then she was in a few episodes of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
She
One where
was.
Clara's last episode.
Yeah,
oh no, I
Place
know
to
who
Raven.
that is now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, and then she was in a few before that. I think she was in
A two-parter.
a
They
two-part.
save her in the Viking episode, and the
Yeah.
Doctor puts something in her that makes it live forever. And then they meet again in like some like Renaissance period. And
Yeah.
then they meet again in modern day period where she's like got an alleyway that's like camouflaged and like there's a bunch of aliens in there, but they've all got like a cloak and
Yeah,
like
no, I remember now.
and there was a murder and Bigsby. Rigsby, something like that.
Oh yeah,
Doctor
him.
Who.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to that location of the Raven Street.
Oh, really?
That's cool.
Yeah, it's been on nowhere. Like, I'm hunting for it a couple years ago, and it's in this like how all can you can't go down it because it's all locked off. um,
Okay.
but yeah, that is a good. I liked the episode, but I didn't like the way after she died that she got brought back.
Mate, I had the exact same argument with Kai, right? I said where it was stupid the fact that they kill off a character and then they're like, but don't worry, she's alive.
Oh, that's
And
what.
then when it's Bob, right? Is it Bob? Who's the who's the girl who dies and becomes a
Oh,
Spider-Man?
uh,
Bill.
Bill.
Bill, sorry. When Bill dies, again, it's like, oh, she died. She's
But
like
her
saved
conscience.
people,
But
but don't worry, she's still
I
alive.
love what the Toy Master says, like how he goes like he's speaking in his accent and then like Zakara got killed by the bird and then like but then the doctor like replies like yeah but she's still alive in her last second and he goes back into his American accent. Well, that's all right. Like I
Yeah.
love how like he actually done like 4 different accents in that episode.
I like the thing about that speech when you're talking about the companions. I like the way he starts it or like ends it with, "Oh, Donna Noble."
Yeah.
He talk like that. The poor doctor. Um, and
He's from like American English, French when he's like dancing in the street with David Tennant.
It is a really good
yeah,
actor.
I
He is.
actually went to that location as well. I went there and in my 40th Doctor outfit, and then people were looking at me saying, like, because of course I can't close the street off for me, unfortunately, to do videos and that. But yeah, it's really awesome. And you're only there for a few minutes, because when they film, they spend hours, don't they,
Yeah.
filming in a certain location when they could be there like a few minutes.
No, I do love like I always watch like the behind the scenes for each one of the episodes like because I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to that type of stuff. I love all like behind the
Yeah,
scenes and that. So like
you've got
even
the
with
commentary as well.
yeah I haven't watched the like director's commentary, uh but I do know about. Didn't they say that? Do you know when obviously David Tennant is now bi-regenerated?
Mm.
Didn't they say that all the other doctors have woken up where they last died or something like that,
Yeah,
or where they
think
regenerated?
he said that he wants like all of them. They want to imagine that all of them are on their own adventures as well. So I think
Yeah.
really leads a path. Maybe it's easier for other doctors to go on spin-offs rather than having to do not to break certain rules to do that. So I think that's an easier way to do it. Um, and I wouldn't expect by generations going to be every generation. I think they just done that purely for the 60th. But
Mm.
I like it in a way because the two doctors get to meet. But as well, I do like the chance that you can say goodbye. And David Tennant's already said goodbye, so I guess they wanted to do it this way for the 60th.
I can kind of see like a little like sitcom type TV show like Life with the Nobles or something like that, like Doctor and Donna, like not like traveling throughout time and stuff like that. Maybe they're like actually it's a sitcom where maybe they are actually are traveling through time, but they're not actually fighting aliens. They're just like enjoying like different time periods or something like that. Like they're having a laugh, just enjoying something, or like I don't know. Like I can imagine, I can see like a little small TV show like that. That'd be funny.
Yeah, I think because we only get, I think this next series has 8 episodes. Next month, or good time when this episode's releasing. So we have 8 episodes that should go around 2-ish months. Because normally have about 3 weeks in a month, don't we?
Mm.
So it should finish by early August, I imagine. Or
Which
late
is really
July.
sad. Like
Um,
I want to see more episodes, and I hope like the season 2 of this new reboot. Um, I don't think it will because I know that they're already filming this season.
yeah, I was filming it already.
But aren't isn't rumors that Ruby's already leaving?
Yeah, there's so many rumors about that, and it's actually sad that those rumors are happening because like load of people jump to conclusion, like lots of you know, news pages say like she's been sacked and stuff like that. I mean,
Or she's being like, I've heard some people say like she's being too much of a diva on set,
yeah,
but I don't know what. Obviously, you can't believe
no,
everything. Like you don't know the story.
you don't know, and like I don't comment on things unless we know there's an official announcement from the BBC, which I think I don't think it's normal for a companion to do one series. Like Martha's done it, Donna has done it. Normally it's the norm. But I don't think she's leaving. I think what they're going to do, similar to when Russell was in charge before, where you had all the companions, quite a lot of companions, and towards the end they'll come back. I think that's maybe. And Millie's young, so she'll probably go back to Corrie for a little while.
Yeah,
And
I thought
then
she was on there as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, so she can, and they said that on one of the commentaries, Russell said something about, oh, we can get you doing this on Corrie or something like that. So it's not. I don't think she is like sacked. I just think that either she's chosen to leave for a little while, or it's part of the script where her character doesn't progress for a little while, and which isn't the actor's choice, is the whatever script you're in. Sometimes that's how it goes.
Yeah, it just depends what fits the story and the narrative of it.
Yeah, and
I think it's going to be a very interesting season. I think that there's going to be good episodes. Obviously, there might be maybe a couple of like doddle episodes, like they're not the greatest, or like, but I'm hoping for a strong season, and I just hope people ain't people. I don't want people's expectations to be set like too high about it, because you need to have the feel for the new Doctor, like. And I'm very excited to see Shooter Gatwick come and play into this like new role and that, because I think he's got the range for it.
I feel like he's going to do very well.
Uh,
Fairly well, sorry.
yeah,
I feel like he's going to do quite well.
how many series do you think he'll do?
I'm saying 3.
I could see 3.
I reckon they're already doing the second one, and I reckon they'll give him one more. I reckon 3 is a solid number for
And then they
like
could start looking for a new Doctor as well throughout the filming process of like as they air in season 2, and they probably filmed season 3 by then.
Yeah,
Like because he promised that they're not going to do any more breaks, like yearly breaks.
no, we don't want any more of them. Because we have a doctor. That's why we have longer periods with doctors, isn't it? Because we have the breaks. Like, I mean, Jodie had 3. It's the thing about having these 3 specials, isn't it? Like, you have an Easter one, you have an autumn one, and then you have a Christmas one or something. But yeah, so if that is the case, Shooty Gal will be the doctor to probably 2026. And
I'm happy with that. Like I
yeah.
said, I think he's a good actor, and I'm excited.
But I would like him to do 4, for the only reason being, I want someone to break the 3-year cycle. If it's
Oh, okay,
sooner,
yeah.
okay.
if it's the 2 series or the 4 series, I just want it to be broken, because everyone's doing the 3 series, which is the norm. But it would be nice to have a bit different.
Yeah, it's kind. I think the reason they kind of do it like that though is also because you got like a Act 1, Act 2, and then Act 3 of the Doctor, like for that whole arc. Like you have like him trying to find out who he is in the first like season, like, and then you've kind of got him like a bit more refined in the second season, and something bad happens at like the end of like the second season, and then he's kind of just recovering from that in the third season, and then like
I feel like it gives you more time to warm up to a new actor as well. I found like, especially with Peter Capaldi, when it was his first season, because because where I watched it late, so I didn't watch Doctor Who for years, because I think when Matt Smith left, I didn't watch it for years, and then it's only last year I watched Peter Capaldi, and it was like the first season I was sort of getting used to his character. But by the third season, I'm sad that he's going. So I feel like it's gonna give him
I
the first season. First season you could like warm up a lot to the like the new Doctor, and then it's gonna give you time to get to know him as well, while he's getting to know himself.
I loved his monologues in the like Hyde, like some of his monologues in them episodes where he's just talking, like breaking the fourth wall, like talking to the audience type thing, is absolutely amazing writing and absolutely amazing acting. Like the delivery of it was so well done.
I think it is. Like his speech was so hard as well, really long, but good. I was the same in the sense that it took me a while to get used to him. But I didn't really like his first season, but his last series was the best. I think without Clara, I liked Clara, but I just felt like she stayed too long, and it was almost like she was the Doctor's carer, which they want. That's what they wanted to make it look like.
Yeah.
But I liked Bill because it's almost like they're just mates, or you're the student, I'm the teacher. So I liked Bill, and then Bill was gone, and I think the 30th Doctors would have been a bit better to have Bill on there as well. To have a little bit, even a season with Bill, with the 30th Doctor would have been probably would have been high ratings, I think, as well. But
Oh yeah,
yeah,
because Bill was also like liked women as well. Like in the show, like that could have been like flirty, like banter between like the both of them, like how like Captain Jack and like David Tennant would have had and stuff like that. Like that could have been, and to be fair, because that character, if that character carried over, that also like you kind of think, oh okay, so we got someone that we like remember, and like we can be like, oh okay. But then obviously with the storyline that they've done for her, it was
I
a bit
feel
like,
like as well, where they changed companions and the writing weren't the best. I really didn't like the companions from the Jodie Whittaker like era. Like, do you know what I mean? His personality was he couldn't ride a bike. That's all it was.
mm, yeah, yeah.
sorry about that.
Um, yeah, that's fine. I think yeah, there's so many different things. Like with the companions, I think Graham was my most favourite one. If I did pick,
Oh yeah, out of all of them three,
yeah,
Yeah,
Graham was
it
definitely
was.
he was the comic relief of the show. Like he was the funny one. Um, like I just liked how his kind of football was like a rat bait, like loved his football as well.
This is
Like
what I mean. I liked his character, but it was just the three of them. Like it was. I know it's not the actor's fault as well. It's mostly bad writing, but it's just like you know on the episode where they go to that holiday place, but it turns out it's actually Earth after it's been like destroyed, and he's just like he meets the girl and he's like, yeah, my nan died. And it's just like he's just so random with. He's like, "Oh, your parents dead too. Same. Cheers." Like what? It feels so
I
unrealistic.
can't ride a
Like,
bike,
I
but
can't ride a bike. And my parents are dead, but my dad don't
mm.
love me. But how are you?
I think what they tried to do is like with the this Bractia storyline, they try to raise awareness towards that with not riding a bike, but there's so much more to it than not riding a bike. So I think they
from
didn't really
experience, yeah.
explain they didn't really explain it as much as they
Yeah,
maybe should have.
I agree. I feel like they tried raising awareness for something, but it made it more comical than actually raise awareness. That's the thing. And it was like the only thing because he's got that, the only thing he can't do is ride a bike.
Hmm.
Like there's so much more in it.
It's like even when they like didn't they hand him a gun and they was like I can't really aim properly or something like that as well because dyspraxia is hand-eye coordination
Hmm.
and it's yeah it takes a while for like people like to learn new things with that type of like
The vision was there, but they definitely took it in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
but then Jodie Whittaker did have some good episodes I will say that like the episode with the Cyberman in the old house that was based around Frankenstein. Like I'm pretty sure the episode was based around
Oh, the
Frankenstein.
one with Lord Byron in it as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, he was the poet in it who was like known for being a dickhead to women.
The Haunting of Villa. I can't even pronounce that.
No, I know exactly which one you're on about though. It was one because he's Lord Byron reads the poem at the start of the episode,
Yeah.
and obviously he's a famous poet.
Do you know there was a lot of backlash about from the 60th episode with um the actor who played Isaac Newton,
Oh
which
yeah.
is not fair. That's not fair. Like they
Isaac Newton? Why
uh
can't I remember this?
do you know where they crash into the tree and then like
No, no, I remember. Yeah,
gravity,
I remember.
gravity, like where they like take the piss out of
Yeah.
like then loads of people ridiculed him because he wasn't a white actor. Like pretty was basically it because he wasn't a white actor because Isaac Newton was white. But I don't see why they can't change it like a little bit.
It's a
It's
sci-fi
not
show.
yeah, like it's not it's not everything's based on facts with Doctor Who and stuff like that. Like I I don't see why they can't cast who they want to cast for whatever reason.
On the subject of scientists, so an episode I did like just purely for the fact they gave him so much credit that he deserves was the one with Nikola Tesla.
Yes. Was that
Because
Jodie Whittaker?
I think so, yeah. But it's because like he's apart from Elon Musk naming his company after him, he's like genuinely forgotten
And Nikola
because
Tesla, like, wasn't Nikola Tesla in the episode as well? Like, they have a rivalry, don't they, in the
no,
episode?
so it was Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison.
Oh, Thomas Edison.
But
Yeah, that's
Thomas
right.
Edison famously like mugged Nikola Tesla off, and then like basically profited so much on his work, and where he's had the foundation for so much, he hasn't got the credit for it until recently. And do you know what I mean? Like he died poor.
Mm.
He died poor after setting the foundation for things that made Thomas Edison rich.
So, do you buy the Doctor Who weekly or monthly or whatever, what the
Yeah,
magazine's called?
yeah, I do. I collect I get one each month. Yeah.
So, do you know, I don't, a couple of months ago, there was a tribute to Sarah Jane.
Yeah, I remember that.
So one of the artworks was my dad's artwork.
What was it?
And then there's an artwork of like a bunch of like Doctor Who characters in like a like in a style type. Don't know what type of style you would call it as, but it's in a certain style and there's like all the Doctors, like the two main ones. My dad's done like a little comic strip called Imprint.
That's awesome.
And it's a about Paul McGann and um the seventh and the eighth Doctor in the TARDIS, like how do you know how all the Doctors were living there? Like it's set in like Paul McGann's TARDIS, and like and it's like the Doctor's like heaven type thing. Like all the Doctors kind of live there together, like type thing. Like and it's mainly about them two, like how like comedy like they are and stuff like that. It's pretty like it was cool. Like growing up, like seeing my dad like make that and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. That's awesome that your dad done that and like Paul McGann and Sarah
I'll send
Jane.
you the link. I'll send you the link
Yeah.
to it afterwards, just in case
Yeah.
if you're interested.
Yeah, that'd be good to see. Um, but it's awesome where um, well, like with like certain episodes and certain things happening. I do think recently, like with the representation of Doctor Who is really good. Um, like with the 60th and everything. I think they try to make sure everyone's included, no matter where they're from or what community they're part of.
Agreed. I do
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, because there's so many people who like it, and for different reasons. They may find other people in their certain community that they got them into it, or that they've done things, and I think it's good. I do think it's good because a lot of doctors may have traits of certain things,
Yeah.
how much they talk or how little they talk, and but like because there's a thing with do you remember when the 13th Doctor, when Graham expressed how he had cancer, or his, I think he had cancer, or something about cancer, and the 13th Doctor didn't say anything, and a lot of people will think that's horrible of the 13th Doctor not to say something, but on the 13th Doctor's like offense, or not offense, defense, if I think if any of us were put in that situation, it would be hard to say something to someone if you're just
If
asking
you've
them.
never experienced it
Yeah,
as well, like
Yeah, I think sometimes if you don't experience something, not saying anything is the best like course of action
agreed.
because you can't really just be like, oh, I understand how you feel, or like even attempt to explain that you understand that situation because you don't.
yeah,
If you never, yeah, I 100% agree with that.
it is hard, and it's like with anything. Like there's so many things that people don't understand, and unless you actually explain what how your life is with it, they're not gonna know. Um,
Exactly.
and yeah, um, Graham probably felt all right then in that scenario, but maybe because he feels maybe the doctor knows everything, but the doctor doesn't. The doctor's
Right.
very
The Doctor's still,
yeah.
let's say, still human, but still alien to like how humans are, I guess. Like,
Still has feelings and
yeah,
emotions,
Mm,
and like I feel like she was a naturally awkward doctor anyway.
yeah.
she reminded me. I would have loved to see David Tennant and Jodie like work together, and maybe in the 60th anniversary, because then that maybe could have brought her back a little bit, like, or like people might have been like, okay, because they have a lot of similarities. They're very just how they are when it comes to like speaking to people and stuff like that. Like, I think it would have been amazing to see David Tennant and Jodie Whittaker like work together for like even just the first like an episode where like he's regenerated, like he's when he regenerated, but for some reason she's still in his head, like talking to him and stuff like that, or like or trying to like bi-generate as well, like or something's like it's like I don't know, but like you know what I
Mm.
mean?
Do you remember when we first got that 60th anniversary trailer, and at the end we saw Ncuti Gatwa on a cliff, like
Yes.
meditating, and we still ain't got that, and that's supposed to be for the 60th anniversary. I've never seen Ncuti Gatwa meditate or anything. We haven't got that yet.
I reckon it was just a fake scene that they put because obviously they put the scene of like, what the hell are you doing here or whatever it is, or whatever he says there. But it obviously it's looks like it's in a fake background, and obviously you know that's from
Yeah.
the like the toy maker episode.
I think because that was actually put in for the 15th Doctor's trailer, for his new series as well. So maybe that is maybe for that.
Yeah, there is
Uh,
an episode where he's on where they're on top of the cliff, like that scene.
yeah, there is a
I
cliff
think
episode.
yeah. So
Yeah.
far, I mean, what I've seen from photos, there's an episode. And like, because I'm a bit of a nerd, I've watched this trailer slowed down so I could like see stuff.
Yeah, there's going to be an
That
episode in the far future. In the far future, I think about politics and
I
like
believe
so,
that could be the first episode, and
um,
there's a
yeah.
tank with a baby in, like a giant-sized baby.
Oh yeah, that might be it because it's something to do with slugs, these slug creatures, and then people go in them and get absorbed for some reason. Um,
Yeah, I saw someone actually recording that from their flat, like a scene with
yeah,
that. Like someone behind, like record just seeing like what the hell's going on here, like.
yeah, it's weird. I think that's going to be his saying because he said it a few times already. What the hell? Uh, so I don't know if that's going to be his new his doctor's saying because he'll get one.
Yeah. I think my dad said something that slug type creature could be a reference to another old comic as well.
Hmm.
I think it's called like the Iron Legion or something like that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think they might do that.
I'm not 100% sure if that is correct or not though.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what the new series brings because I think I wonder. I reckon each episode it'd be if it's going to be interesting. Now the episode could be each an hour now because there's not as many episodes in the series as there used to be.
Oh, wait, they've been confirmed that each episode's going to be an hour.
No, I just wonder if they
Oh,
would be an hour,
yeah,
considering
because I
with
don't want it to be. Yeah, because if there's not as many episodes, maybe a longer run time
hmm,
would be better. It'd like compensate for that like little.
yeah. But I thought the last 60 very special was going to at least be an hour and a half. And it was
That would have been nice.
yeah 1 hour and 1 minute.
It didn't
Um,
feel rushed, but it also did feel like the plot was moving very quick as well. Like,
yeah, definitely.
but then David Tennant's always been fast-paced,
Yeah,
quiet episodes.
yeah. Do you guys have a favourite Doctor that you like?
Oh, David Tennant, all the way, man. I
David
love
Tennant.
David Tennant.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll always be David Tennant, but like some of the old episodes that like I watched when I was younger, like I do enjoy some of the Tom Baker episodes. Like I remember watching like his first episode, Robot, um, when I was a kid. I remember watching The Curse of Fendrix. 7th Doctor.
Mhm.
I'm trying to just think of some other episodes. I remember watching the 5 Doctors or 3 Doctors as well. Some of them, like the old specials, and like where there's like the first 5 Doctors and stuff like that. That was cool.
Yeah, 5 Doctors. Yeah, but I I like David Tennant. He's always gonna be my favorite, but I also do like Matt Smith and
Yeah.
Pom
Matt
Began.
Smith is also brilliant.
Yeah,
See, I have watched the Doctor Who movie, but it's been so long since I've watched that.
Yeah.
But I can just remember bits and pieces of it now.
yeah,
Have you ever watched that?
Never watched the movie, no.
It's
yeah.
very American.
Yes. It's very American, although the main Doctor isn't American.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Matt Smith would be good to have an episode with Ncuti Gatwa because I feel like they're very similar. From what I can see of Ncuti already, how serious he can be to really a comedian, and then the same with Matt Smith.
Yeah.
So I think that would be nice for them to even go up maybe against each other if Matt is going to be a master. Or
That's just a
yeah,
dream theory. Like
yeah.
that would be amazing.
So yeah. So I've got the quiz book here. I'm going to ask you guys 2 questions, and I'm going to see if you know what the answer is. I've got like A, B, or C. So I've got. It's not like I'm asking you and expect you to pick an answer. So I've got options for you to choose. So this question is about the 11th Doctor, actually.
Okay.
So
No cheating.
more recent. Um, So you've got the 11th Doctor. This is about his first episode.
Oh,
So
the 11th hour. Yeah.
yeah, you remember when he's crashing in his TARDIS? Um,
Yeah.
which food was his favourite after trying a host of dishes for the first time in his new body? So you
Don't
had
even need to give me an A, B, or C. I already
yeah,
know the
Well,
answer.
there's
yeah,
2 people playing
yeah,
this game, guy.
yeah, yeah,
Jesus.
I
yeah.
already know the answer
Yeah,
for them.
before I give the options, do you know it, Nante?
Um, no, I think if you tell me the A, B, or C, I'll probably know.
All right. So the first option is fish fingers in custard.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I got the other options as well. I'll still tell them because you might be wrong. Uh,
You might be wrong.
you've got beans on toast,
Right.
and then you've got jelly
He
baby.
spits the beans out into the sink,
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
yeah. You got jelly babies as well.
Oh, that's Tom Baker's favorite.
I'm probably gonna go for fish fingers and custard, mate.
All right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So we got
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when he gets handed the beans, he takes one mouthful and he just spits them out into the sink in that episode as well.
yeah. What I want to go
Did
on here?
either of you try fish fingers and custard out of curiosity?
No, because it was an actual coconut cake that he dipped
Yeah.
into the
It was coconut
into the
cake.
custard. It wasn't actual fish fingers.
No, it wasn't. Although people have tried the fish fingers and
Yeah.
custard.
I have not tried it.
No, I like coconut. So I imagine it's so nice.
I do not like coconut.
Should we try fish fingers and custard one day? Like,
Film it. Film you trying it.
We'll send it to you.
We'll get it done before April, just so you can post it alongside the
Yeah,
podcast.
you should do that. Yeah, we'll have to do that. So you've got Martha Jones was traveling to be a doctor when she met the 10th Doctor. When space police aliens, no, which space police aliens did they meet in the Royal Hospital when they got transported to the moon?
I already know the name of this.
So the first option is the Slovene. The second option is the Jadoon. And then the third option is the Mox of Balhoun.
It is
Oh my God, that's
the Jadoon. I
it is
remember
the
the name.
Yeah, it's the
Jadoon
Jadoon.
it's like the doctor goes Jadoon upon the moon or something like that.
Yeah. So this is a bit of a different question. It's not a multiple choice. This is true or false. So, true or false? Rose Tyler joined the TARDIS in 2005 and travelled with 2 Doctors, the 9th Doctor and the 10th Doctor incarnations.
True.
I'm gonna say true as well. Yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah, true.
We are good at this, man.
Yeah.
My Doctor Who knowledge is elite, mate.
So this might be a bit of a tricky question to you, Nocte, because it's a bit complicated question. So it's about River Song.
Okay.
So River Song was the Doctor's wife, destined to meet him out of order, and the timelines move backwards. In which episode did the Doctor and River Song marry? So you've got
Um,
A, the husbands of River Song, B, the honeymoon of River Song, and then you've got C, the wedding of River Song.
let me do some thinking.
Don't cheat, Dan. Don't cheat.
I'm not cheating.
You are literally cheating. I am watching him look it up right now.
Yeah, so did you say when they got married? Sorry.
Yeah, when they got married. The husbands of River Song, the honeymoon of River Song, or the wedding
I
of
can't
River
believe
Song.
you.
Well, the honeymoon is obviously after the marriage, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the Doctor has shown that he also can have more than one gender.
I
So
hate you.
I'm gonna say the wedding of River Song.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you. Yep. Thank
You are a cheat, sir. You are a cheat.
Yeah.
How about that? How about you describe an episode to Dan, and he's got to try and tell you the name of the episode.
Okay. Let me think of an episode.
I'm also gonna make
Do
sure.
you want it
I
to be a
don't-
complicated one or an easy one?
We'll give him an easy one first.
I
Start
won't.
with-
I won't know the name of the episode though.
Or
What about the name of the episode and you give me a brief description, but I have to tell you what happens?
oh yeah, give him a name of the episode. Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you. Let's give you a really hard one. No, I'm thinking. I'm thinking. What episode should I choose?
Do not cheat, Dan. Try and do it proper this time.
Let's go with. Right. Let's go with. I don't want to go for any. I won't go any of the 60th anniversary specials because you're going to know that. You definitely know that. Let's go for the end of the world.
Ooh.
Can I get what season it is and what Doctor, please?
Is this a spelling bee? The Doctor Who spelling bee, but it's an
Yeah.
episode.
So it's in series 1 and that's the Ninth Doctor.
Ninth series, end of the world.
Yeah, I remember what episode it is now.
Oh God. I'm guessing
And it's also episode 2 of season 1. I'll give you that as well.
of what Doctor?
He's just said.
The ninth one.
Yeah,
That's
Christopher Eccleston.
second episode. Oh my God, what was it? I thought it was the one where it's like the game show. I thought that was the second episode.
Pretty
When
good.
he's locked in a room.
Nope.
Can I phone a friend?
Well, we're not on what I want to able to beam it in.
Is your friend me by any chance?
Yeah, I was actually gonna phone you as well.
All
Yeah.
right.
So what have you said it's about?
I'll be honest, I messed up. I thought it was the one where he's locked in the room during the game show, but apparently it's not.
I will tell you the answer if you want me to.
Go on then.
So it's when Rose runs into the TARDIS after the first episode. And then the Doctor goes to the space station that has which is the last day of the Earth exploding. And
I remember. Yeah,
and the
so it's
sun
the last
exploding.
day of the Earth exploding, and then I'm guessing he has to deal with that with Rose.
Well, no, they
Okay, carry on.
they're
sorry.
on the space station.
Yes.
There's a bunch of aliens that come and that'll come to view the Earth exploding. The last living woman,
Oh my God, where
Cassandra.
she's got the she's
Yeah.
on like the sheet.
She is just a
No,
piece
I
of
remember.
skin.
Yeah, I remember.
And then she gave everyone a gift, and which were the little robots, which I had a toy of when I was a kid, like the little robots, and like the woman, you had the tree person, which the Doctor gave the gift of air, his breath, and he just breathes on her. He goes, and here's a gift from my lungs, and just goes.
Here's a question, a part of that episode, Dan, Nonte. What song was playing in it? There was a certain song playing in the episode. What was it called?
Um, so I don't actually know, but I'm gonna take a shot in the dark. Was it Lil Wayne, Mona Lisa?
It was not. It's it's I can't remember the actual name of the song, but it goes, sometimes I feel like I got to get away. I got to I'm not gonna say any
no.
more because of copyright. I can't remember what the song's called. It's not Toxic. I can't remember the name of the song.
You want to phone a friend?
I'll phone you.
It was called Tainted Love.
Tainted Love,
That's
yes.
it, yeah.
I know how the song goes, so
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, that's a really good episode. Okay. How about we test your Doctor Who knowledge?
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go for
If you get this right, Kai's gonna send £50.
I don't have £50, man. Okay. Trying to think of a good episode. That's not very, very mainly known. Okay, well, not mainly known, it's just not a popular episode. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It is season 7, episode 11, The Crimson Horror.
Oh yeah, I know this episode. You had it was set and it was a weird episode because it was set I can't remember when it was set actually in the 19th or something, but like you had the Doctor and Clara were the main people in it, but you had you had Vastra there, you had Jenny,
Yeah.
and then you had Strax, and then the main monster of the episode was actually someone's grandfather, and the main I can't remember. It was very disturbing, the monster, because it was on the main. I can't
Woman's
remember.
like
Yeah,
chest.
like the chest, like growing on her, and then I think she died in the end. It was quite funny because I
Someone
like
stamps on it at the
yeah
end, I'm pretty sure.
yeah I like the music at the end when she was falling down the stairs. But but yeah, that was so. Uh, Clara was stuck in this thing. Well, no, the Doctor was stuck in there, but Clara was as well because they both got really red skin from some heat thing. Um, so yeah, that's basically what the episode is. Yeah.
He's gonna know this one. I'm telling you now.
We've got one more for you, and this is my one, and I guarantee you won't get it.
He will get it. It's season 3, episode 2,
Oh.
The Shakespeare Code.
I realised that might give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I went to partly the location of this last year, of this episode.
In the Globe Theatre.
Yeah. But it was like the outdoor bit in the episode, when Martha get there, and I think you have
The person drowning on the streets.
yeah, that as well, but you have the house where the witches are.
I've met one of the witches actually.
Yeah.
Funny enough, actually, you mentioned that. I've actually met one of the witches who was in like the makeup and the costume and stuff like that. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. Because so what happens in that episode is like you have the witches, and then they are, and then you have Shakespeare, and then the Doctor nearly gets killed by the Queen right at the end.
Oh, I love that episode, man. It's a good
Yeah.
episode, actually.
Okay, then I'll give one to you, Kai.
Yeah, okay.
You haven't gone
Test
yet.
me.
Let's go with Love and Monsters.
Oh man, I really hate this episode. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it was the person who like the Zorbalon or something like that,
Mm.
and you had Rose's mum in the episode, but my favorite scene in the episode, I gotta admit, is when Mr. Blue Skies is playing.
I love that bit.
That is one of my favorite songs of just all time anyway. I really love the outro to that song, like dun 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 dun, like that type of like rhythm to it and stuff like that. It's like a documentary of like this. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's trying to find the doctor and prove that the doctor's real. And he sets up like a community of people who have like maybe have heard of the doctor. And the person who's playing the Absorbalon is like absorbing one of the people one by one, trying to get the knowledge of the doctor.
It's got a really, really dodgy ending though, doesn't it?
Yeah, the
Whereas
woman's
he
in the
keeps his
pavement. Yeah,
girlfriend and
girlfriend,
like a
the slab
full
of
slab of
pavement.
stones.
Yeah. Do you reckon he feeds her?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Rose was quite mean to him right at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, although she may have he may have doing things with Rose's mum, but he was just trying to find what was happening. Um
He wanted to know what was
yeah.
going on.
Yeah,
He
but
was trying to find
really
the truth.
the thing about that episode, which I don't mind it, but I always prefer when the Doctor's in it in an episode,
Yeah,
rather
I
than
mean,
some stranger.
see, but then you can say that, but then think of like Blink. I know that the
Yeah,
Doctor is in that, but it's like the
yeah,
same regards as like how the Doctor's in Love and
yeah.
Monsters.
I think
Blink is one
it's
of the best
yeah.
episodes, though. Like, from like that scared me as a kid.
Yeah, that is a scary
Like,
episode. The Whippet Angels.
yeah, they've always like creeped me out and stuff like that. But like, they've become like less scary as like the season's gone on, though. Like, they kind
Yeah,
of
they
become more
need
jokey
new
thing and
monsters now. I think we need some new kind of fresh things going on.
yeah, 100%. We need some new monsters. Um, I feel like we're gonna get a few musical numbers in this season, especially because you got Jonathan Groff. He's quite a good singer, so like I feel like they might use his voice and stuff like that. So
That
let's see.
I'm really interested about that episode because in the trailer, like you've got him and the Doctor having some sort of confrontation.
He calls him a cad,
Yeah,
which I believe is like the someone who's like hired in something about themselves or something like that. So it could be about um a gay relationship during that time. It could be. Uh,
yeah. I think they danced, don't they? I think they danced as
yeah, I'm
well.
not I'm not 100% sure if that is true or not.
Yeah.
But
When I first heard it, I ultimately thought he was just
A
saying
cad
calm.
is someone. Sorry. So I just searched up. A cad is a man who behaves dishonorably, especially towards women. So you are completely wrong.
oh, okay.
So he's
Okay.
basically abusive towards women.
Yeah. So I think it's basically another word for misogynistic. How they I'm guessing it means they think they're better than a woman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
I was wrong.
I mean, it's going to be interesting if they are set quite that episode set quite closely to the 1960s one.
I feel like the TARDIS is gonna change like color depending on like what episode they're gonna be
Mm.
like what like because I know that like the one where the in the 60s like the TARDIS goes like purple and like disco-y type color lights and stuff like that, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I've always wanted to tell this to go purple, and it's gonna do that. It's gonna go pink as well by the looks of it, and so yeah. But I don't think with the Beatles episode, I don't think the Beatles will. It's almost like you can see really briefly when they're showing the Beatles bit in the trailer. It's almost like they've got this sort of kind of platform, that I think or something. But I don't think the Beatles will be the monsters. So I think they'll just be
No, I
there.
in that episode they've got a someone from RuPaul's Drag Race in that
Yeah,
episode.
Jink Monsoon.
Yeah, Jink Monsoon. Yeah, that's the name. I couldn't remember the name. Um, I believe that they're gonna be the villain in the episode, and I promise you now that the Doctor and uh Ruby are gonna say a lyric. Yeah. Well, they got a song. The Beatles have got a song called Oh no, they don't. Sorry, that's a different artist. Um, but I promise you now, they're gonna say a lyric, yeah, and the Beatles are gonna be like, "Oh, that's a really good idea," and they're gonna make a song, and it's gonna be like, like it's gonna be really cringe. They're gonna say something like, "Oh, like I want to hold your hand" or something like that, or like name a Beatles song or something like
Mm.
that, and and they're gonna just like, or like be like, "Oh, hey Jude" or something like that, or like, "Hey, like, do you know? Have you seen the film Yesterday?" Where
No,
it's,
I haven't seen that.
it's a film where the Beatles don't exist in the world, but only this one guy can remember all the Beatles songs. So he rewrites all the songs from the Beatles and like produces them for himself,
I
and he
like Hey
becomes like
Jude.
really famous.
Hey Jude. It's good because football. I thought they was play it, but they was play it in your stadium. Hey Jude. But that's not the point. But I do hope they play that, you know. But I think Ruby's got the piano, so she's playing her own lyrics or something in that episode, and there's gonna be lots of flying. Or I saw, and when Russell T Davies did his documentary. He done his documentary and he was explaining about the episode.
Okay.
That things are gonna go hectic and things are gonna go up in the air. And there's lots of rumours that Jinx is the Rani as well, but I don't
Ooh.
know. I don't know who she's gonna be, but it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
I believe there's an episode in from the trailer where the Doctor's stuck on a landmine, and I think it's going to be an episode that's centered more around Ruby trying to save the Doctor whilst he's stuck on this landmine.
Yeah, I always like when when the companion gets to save the Doctor in it.
Yeah, because it's obviously just a juxtaposition from what usually happens, the Doctor saving their companion.
Yeah, but that's it. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens. And yeah, it's gonna be really cool. But guys, is there any like just to finish, is there any like I know we said like any of your favorite? I know you probably said it before, but because we weren't recording then, do you just want to say it again what your favorite music is? It could be a Doctor Who, it could be non-Doctor Who, but it's up to you.
Yeah, we're going Doctor Who. One of my favorite like scenes with music in is the scene where from the first episode where the Doctor and Donna first reunite with the adipose, and they're both talking to each other through the like the window and the door, and they're just like, what are you doing here? And like it's so well done, and then like I love the fact that like when they turn the camera around to like the lady and she's like, are you two finished there or something like that. I just love that scene. Like the music was cool as well.
Yeah.
What about
And
non-Doctor Who?
non-Doctor Who music that's inspired me, like with my music and stuff like that. Obviously, we got like the Beatles. I've always I like my singy stuff, like rap. I've listened to like a lot of like rap, Eminem, Logic, Childish Gambino. Um, my mind's just going blank on rappers right now, Dan. Lil
Kendrick
Wayne,
Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar, yeah, J. Cole. Like I've got like a lot of inspiration because like when I grew up, my dad was doing like a lot of like techno DJ and like house and like old music. He has like my dad had like loads of vinyls, over like 1,000 vinyls on the shelf, and like Pink Floyd and like everything like that. And then like my mum was like R&B and like more like garage music and like more pop and stuff like that. So I've kind of always had like a wide range of music growing up.
So, like I said earlier in the podcast,
Before we were recording.
oh no, this I think was this it might have been before recording, but I was going back to in Doctor Who was I like the when we saw the toy maker do his little dance with the music on. I
Oh,
like that. And then outside of Doctor Who, my like favorite song changes a lot. But recently with my own music, I've been trying to go like more rap elements rather than like where I was doing like an emo rap type thing before. So at the moment I've been listening to a lot of Lil Wayne, and Bloody Mary is a song that really sticks out purely because he write
the wordplay in that and the
like
rhyme scheme.
his rhyme scheme is unreal.
Yeah.
So I took a lot of inspiration from that.
And we're both doing our own individual music. He goes by like I'm Nocte and I go by Kai. Our music's everywhere. Shameless plug here, sorry. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon
Well, don't
Music.
plug it even. You can't say shameless plug and then keep plugging.
But Uh, we're also planning on doing like joint music, like a joint collab type music thing as well, where we're going to be experimenting like with different genres and like we want to do like different type of beats as well, don't we? Like we want to start off with like ukulele beats and just like name it. You can do it, like Uke can do it too, and stuff like that. You like pun and stuff like that. But yeah,
So we spoke about something before we came on this podcast, and since it's Doctor Who related, Kai was wondering if he could freestyle about Doctor Who.
no, I did not. Do not try and lie.
I do think it would be interesting
Go on, Kai.
to,
Let's try it.
No.
to do
I'm
a
not-
song about Doctor Who actually, um, like because there are good songs out there. Like, I think there's a freestyle of there's a Doctor Who song. I can't remember what it's called, but I literally can't remember what it's called. But there has been like remixed Doctor Who songs that you
Yeah.
make off your own. So it's always good if people want to do that, they can, because I'd listen to it. Yeah. But yeah, it's good you both do your music. Have you not done a music together yet, or you like before, or are you just gonna start doing that?
So we've got like a few songs in the work.
Yeah, we've
that-
got songs together and songs in the works, but the actual collab project hasn't like
Officially
nothing's been
started
released yet.
Okay. Yeah. So he's kind of in the works and in the plans for
Yeah.
the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. You guys might be able to get your song on Doctor Who or something.
Oh my
Like,
God, imagine.
That'd be awesome.
yeah. Cause I know, like you know the song Shooty Gattle was dancing to.
Yeah.
That was someone's song in Doctor Who. You might not know, but it's not Doctor Who's song. It's someone else's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You
uh,
never know.
that's
That'd be
someone
cool
else.
one day. Imagine the Doctor dancing to I'm Wasted.
Yeah.
Beats too empty,
Yeah.
mate. There's nothing to dance to.
Yeah, definitely. But guys, thanks for wanting to come on.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It's been really good.
Yeah,
It's been fun.
yeah. It definitely has been fun. But to anyone watching or listening, wherever you are in the world, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And after this, there'll be a few episodes for the rest of the month. Not as many episodes as last year because I think this year we're just having a little bit of at the start of the year there wasn't any episode purely because of a little break. Um, but from now on, the episodes should be once a week normally now, maybe twice. Not all the time, no. But after this, we'll have a few autism episodes, and then there's going to be a few episodes next month about mental health, maybe, but and close to when Doctor Who's airing, or maybe a Doctor Who episode now and then you've got some other episodes to do with maybe like mental health, like I say, IBD Day, which is going to come up next month, and then other things onwards and onwards. But thanks to Kai and Nonte for coming on today, and we'll definitely do this again at some point.
Yeah.
Be good, man. 100%.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having us again.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we'll have to come back on at some point and talk about the newest season or something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Like the ups and downs of the season or something.
Yeah, we'll have to sort something out. We will.
Yeah.